Arithmetic inaccuracies are also checked by preparing the trial balance. As I just told you that if the debit side is equal to credit side, it simply means that the accounts have been prepared on a best basis. There is no frauds, there are no inaccuracies, everything is accurate and reliable. Hello students, I hope the previously we have studied all the concepts. They all must be very much clear to you. Now today, in today's class, we will be studying the system of accounting. Now what is the meaning of system of accounting? There are two systems of accounting. One is the double entry system and the other one is the single entry system. Double entry, with the name, it simply means double entry, that is the entries will be recorded in dual aspect, that is it will be recorded in two places. So double entry system is based on the dual aspect concept, which simply says that all the transactions, obviously as we all know now, transactions, every transaction has two aspects. One is simply to give something and the other one is to take something. Now, since there are two aspects, give and take, obviously one thing will be going to the other person and the other thing will be coming to the same person. Now, for example, if I want to buy some of the groceries for my house, obviously I will go to the shop. When I will go to the shop, I will ask the shopkeeper to give me some pulses or give me some sugar, whatever it is. So if I'm buying that product from that shopkeeper, so what will I do? I will pay him the amount. I will pay him the money that I am giving him, the money in the form of cash. Suppose I am giving him rupees 500 and for the same amount, I am taking, what am I taking? I am taking the pulses or I am taking the wheat, etc. Whatever I need, I will be taking from that shop. So every transaction has two effects. One thing comes within us and the other thing goes from us. Is that clear? Now, only on this only the double entry system is based, which simply says that it is based on the dual aspect. For every transaction has two effects, receiving a benefit and giving a benefit. Obviously, now what are we receiving? We are receiving the goods, we are receiving the products which we need. Apart from that, what are we giving? Obviously, he will get the benefit from us as well in the form of money, in the form of cash. So that is what is going out from me and the products are coming to me. Is that clear? Now, so this is basically one thing is coming in and the other thing is going out. So this involves two or more accounts, which are recorded at different places in the ledger. Now, how is it possible that it involves two accounts? Yes, it is possible. How come? Now, let's see. There is a cash which is going out. Okay. So cash is a different item. Apart from that, the products which I am buying are different items. So these both are different. So both have to be maintained in a different accounts. So since these both are different, so one thing is going out, the other one is coming. These have to be recorded at different places in the ledger accounts. Now, what is the meaning of ledger accounts? Ledger accounts is basically the summary of all the transactions we do on a regular basis. For example, in a full month, I have received approximately cash worth of rupees 5 lakhs. Now, the bifurcation of this 5 lakhs receiving of cash is one day I received 500, the other day I have received 5,000, the other day I received 50,000, the next day I received 10,000, and on the same day itself, again I received 20,000. So there are so many transactions. Now, just to see the summary, as in where is the actual, from where the actual cash has come or where the actual cash has gone, and what is the remaining balance, this will be seen in the ledger accounts. So ledger accounts is basically the summary which we will be studying in next chapters. Okay. For the time being, just understand that all the transactions which are done involves many of the items. For example, if I'm saying paying salary, so if I'm paying salary, so salary is a different item, that is an account. Other thing, that is cash. I'm paying out the cash. Next, I am purchasing the goods. Now, if I'm purchasing the goods, obviously the goods will come to me. The goods will come to me. So goods is a different item, and again, cash is a different item. Next, if I'm giving salary to my employees, salary, another item, cash another item. If I'm receiving a rent or if I'm paying a rent, again there will be involvement of rent and cash. So these all are different items, and these all are the different items which are to be dealt in the accountancy while the preparation of accounting information or the financial statements. So simply, accounts is basically the different items which we are dealing into, the different amount which we are paying for the expenses or for the goods and services. So each and everything, for each and everything there is account. So all the transaction involve at least two transactions, at least two accounts at the same time. So that is known as the double entry system, where both aspects have to be recorded at different places in the ledger account. I hope this is very much clear to you. Next, so every debit must have a corresponding credit. That is, now as we all know that we have already studied the meaning of debit and credit. Debit simply, there is no definition to debit and credit. It simply is defined by the rules, the old rules and the new rules, where if we are paying the salary being an expense will be debited. Apart from that, the cash is going out will be credited. So in these all things, something or the other will have a debit effect, and the second one, the other item, will also have the credit effect. So obviously with this, the double entry system works, which says for every debit there should be a credit as well. So one account is debited and the other one has to be credited. So this was the meaning of double entry system, where all the transactions have to be recorded in two places. Next, let's come to the single system. But also one more thing, double entry system is a complete system. Now why is it a complete system? Because it records both the aspects, that is whatever items is coming in, that is whatever is coming to us, and whatever is going from us, both are recorded. That's why it is a complete system. If there is a mismatch in one item, we can check for the second item and we will get the errors which we had made in the previous days or the period. Is that clear? So now, next, both aspects recorded are accurate and reliable. Since both aspects are recorded, so it is totally accurate, because one effect will be in the other account, the other effect will be in the other account. So with that, there is a a tally thing or the verification thing, that we have recorded one thing here and the other thing here. So if it is matching, both the columns are matching, then it simply means that your account, the accounting information, the accounting financial statements which you have prepared is very much accurate and can be relied upon. Okay, next, it also minimizes the frauds, the risk of frauds, the risk of misappropriations. Obviously, if I am paying salary, suppose I paid a salary of rupees 50,000 to my employee, so I will have to record salary 50,000, and also my cash will be going out. I will also have been paid the cash 50,000. So this ways, if at all I have by mistakenly written only 5,000, so by checking the other item, I can verify it that which one is correct and which one is wrong. So obviously the salary which I will be paying to this employee shall not be 5,000. It will always be how much? 50,000 only. So that's with that only I can make this correction by doing the reverse entry. Is that okay? So this minimizes the risk of frauds. Nothing can be, no one can make us fool, or no one can enter each and everything by their own. Everything has to be recorded in two places. With that, the risk of fraud and the misappropriations, this type of mistakes can be minimized. Obviously it's a the human beings are doing only, so there will be errors, but it will be reduced to a very lower state because it's a double entry system. Next, arithmetic inaccuracies are also checked by preparing the trial balance. As I just told you, that if the debit side is equal to credit side, it simply means that the accounts have been prepared on a best basis. There is no frauds, there are no inaccuracies, everything is accurate and reliable. So that's how we can check whether the accounts are correct or not, by preparing the trial balance. Trial balances have the balances of all the accounts. So if at all salary, if I have written 50,000, so corresponding to that, I will have a cash of 50,000. If this is written 5,000, so there will be a mismatch of 45,000, with which I can check where is the mistake gone wrong, where is the accounting information has gone wrong. So this is basically the advantages of the double entry system. Next, system of double entry can be implemented by big as well as the small organizations. Obviously, the big organization have to mandatorily do the double entry system. Small organization can have both. They can use single entry as well or the double entry as well. But it is recommended to use the double entry system only, so that the mishappenings, the misappropriations and frauds can be detected and minimized. So these were the advantages of the double entry system. Next, we come to the single entry system. Single entry system is not at all complete. Now, the question arises, why is it not complete? In double entry system, what we used to do, we were recording both aspects. That is, we were recording salary also and cash also. Am I correct? We were recording both 50,000 on both the sides, with which there was an accuracy and the verifiability that yes, there is a debit and the credit as well for the same transaction. Now, in the single entry system, it is not complete system of maintaining records. Why? Because not records the two-fold effects. That is, it only records the single effect. It will only record the cash only. That is, cash is going out. Where is it going out? We will not be able to know. From where it is coming, we will not be able to know. But cash is going out or the cash is coming in. Is that clear? In this, we won't record the salary part. We don't make the two accounts. We simply make the only personal accounts and the cash book are maintained. Cash book where we record that this amount is gone and this amount we have received. Okay. Apart from that, the other accounts need not be prepared. Only the cash account has to be prepared, with which we can get the information. So, many times it is not reliable, because many times most of the entries have no records that where did this amount go, from where did this amount come. So this can be the misappropriations, and it can also make the things into the frauds as well. So that's why it doesn't record the two full effects. That is, each and every transaction are not recorded. Only a single part of that transaction has been recorded. Now, only the personal accounts. Now, what is the meaning of personal accounts? Personal accounts simply means, for example, I have purchased goods from some person. I have purchased goods from Rohan. If I have purchased the goods from Rohan, so what will happen? Rohan will be, entered in my books, because amount cash has not been paid. If at all I had paid the cash for the goods I have bought, then that will have been recorded in the cash book. But since I am not paying the cash, I will record that yes, I have bought it from Rohan. The amount is still yet to be paid. This has to be recorded in the single entry system. Or else, if I am selling the goods to Rohan, again I will record that yes, I have sold the goods to Rohan, from whom I will have to receive the cash. Is that okay now? Yes. So it is not a system, but lack of system. Why is it a lack of system? Because it lacks the double, that is a dual aspect. So no uniformity for some. Obviously, if you are recording only one aspect, you cannot be accurate. You cannot be fully sure that your accounting information is correct or wrong. So that's why single entry is, it is said that only the small organizations can use it. It is not for the big organization, because big organizations have the huge amount of transactions which are to be taken care of, huge amount of cash, huge amount of money is involved that has to be taken care for. Is that okay? Next is only one aspect is recorded. Now, what is recorded? That is only one thing, either the cash or the person from whom we have purchased or sold the goods. No expenses, no incomes, nothing. Only the inflow and outflow of cash and the person's name from whom the goods have been purchased or sold. So only one aspect is recorded. For others, both the aspects are recorded. For some, it allows to record both the aspects. For some, it only says to record for one aspect only. So it is basically inaccurate. The consistency is not maintained. Nothing is proper in this one. So accounts are maintained incomplete. That's why it is incomplete, because you cannot see the complete version of the account, but you can know the information, but it is not complete basically. And unsystematic and not reliable. Obviously, if it is unsystematic, it cannot be relied upon. We cannot rely upon the information where the information is, incomplete, where the information is not complete, where there is a lack of information. Next, this can be followed by the small business only and very simple and flexible. Why is it flexible? Because only one aspect is to be recorded, nothing needs to be checked, nothing needs to be verified. Only when the things are recorded, it is recorded. No need to check, no need to do the verification, nothing. Is that okay? So that's why it is flexible in nature. It can be done easily by each and everyone. What you need to do is, you just simply have to maintain a diary in which you will simply write down the inflows. Suppose there are two parts of diary. Here we can write the inflows of cash, and here we will write the outflows of cash. Simply, the amount of cash which is coming in will be recorded on this side. The amount of cash which is going out will be recorded on this side. Ultimately, at the end, we will be able to know what is the profit or the loss, what is the balance of the cash only, nothing apart from that. So what is the total amount of salary we have paid? We won't be able to see that. We will only see the outflow of cash, that in these ways the cash has been gone out and in these ways the cash has come. What is the per month or per year salary? We won't be able to calculate it because we only have the cash book with us. So in earlier days, or else in the remote areas, people only follow the single entry system because they don't have the knowledge. They simply want to know what is the amount of cash coming in and what is the amount of cash going out. So only those persons which have a very small business can do this, where they don't want the hectic things to happen in their life. They don't want to just waste time on recording, so they simply use the single entry system. So now we have completed this topic as well, that is system of accounting, which says there are two types of system of accounting. The first one is the double entry system, which records the dual aspects of the transaction. One is debit and the other is credit. Obviously, transaction are of two types. A transaction involves two items, that is two aspects. One we give, one we take. Both are recorded in the ledgers. Now, to check the accuracy, we make the trial balances. That is the summary of the ledger accounts. We'll study in the next chapters. Apart from that, single entry system only records one aspect, only one thing, that is mainly the cash book, the inflow and outflow of cash, and the personal accounts from whom we have purchased the goods and to whom we have sold the goods. So this was the explanation and meaning of system of accounting. Thank you so much.